Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with MTI Wireless Edge. Today's host is Ofer Bismuth, and he is their Director of Sales and Marketing for North America, and he'll be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Ofer will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Ofer, thank you so much for being with us today. We greatly appreciate your time. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry about my voice. I'm a little tough, but for you, I came especially to do the presentation. So if you have any questions, you can write them and on the okay, so we will talk about a few things. First of all, everyone understands today the capacity issue and it's growing dramatically. Let's see what kind of technology trying to meet this for capacity. We do a short introduction about MTI, about antenna selection, a little bit consideration. I have the full presentation of the consideration of all the parameters. So if someone needs the full version, I can send it. And then we have a few minutes for question and discussion, no problem. So today we saw more and more. It's very clear. Everyone facing this, and it's now. Let's say that everyone is moving to real video, which means Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, YouTube. Everyone trying to compete in this environment. Still, ChatGPT. I don't know what is the and Bert. I don't know what does it mean for capacity, but let's see in the future. So we have a big area and big application going forward. Everyone now is doing video. Video is the winning game everywhere. Everyone trying to give more and more. And even in the future, when Google will like ChatGPT, one thing to give, it's also video for searching image, which ChatGPT cannot give. So one thing that everyone is doing is the number of ports. Now 2x2 is almost obvious. Everyone is looking for 4x4, 8x8, and unfortunately, most of the mobile today, the 5G is going to be 16 by 16, 39. So it's not antenna. Unfortunately, MTI is not part of the game. So yeah, so in order to increase capacity, we need to increase the number of antennas. The number of ports, the number of antennas, we will see. So today it's already done. Most of the company are doing 11AX. MTI is pushing very hard the 80 gigahertz. The 80 gigahertz, it's specific for let's say specific for backhauling. It's not technology for the access. It's a backhauling. All the capacity going backward to the center, to the main location. Of course, there is always the fiber optics, which is also growing dramatically in the US and Europe. And unfortunately, also it's very competitive technology for wireless. So we'll see. And I'm sure you saw this in the US, but also in Israel, in Europe, I heard everyone that the main fiber is the winning solution. And then, of course, there is always smart antenna, beamform in many buzzwords that you can hear. But the main idea is how we can bring the antenna to maximum efficiency with the same parameter. Okay, The idea is that the radio can give, by the way, this is also in the mobile, the 5G, it can give more commands to the antenna in order to change the behavior of the antenna. So this is kind of beamforming, smart antenna, a lot of things. Fixed LTE is increasing in the US. I don't know if you have the number, but Verizon won the CBRS. We talk about this. About customer of fixed LTE. Unfortunately, they done millions of customers, and they are very growing, very promising. TV widespread almost dead in the US, almost, because there's still a lot of companies that are growing, but unfortunately, it was not a good not everywhere. Broadband drop outside. Headline if you bought by Avaya, drop this outside. There is a company like 6 Harmonic that is. So TV widespread, not only the number of customers is very small, also the number of radio windows going down. There is still in the US many TV widespread, mainly it's in Africa and other countries. CBRS, I'm sure that you already heard about it. This is already technology that is approved. The problem with CBRS is that the big money going and taking all the capacity. So, unfortunately, there is 3 level of priority. The big money, billion of US dollar going to this auction. And unfortunately, AT&T, Verizon, and everyone, the big one bought a lot of capacity, and they're doing these fixed wireless, fixed wireless 5G. There is a new spectrum, very prominent, okay? 6 to 7 gigahertz. I don't know, unfortunately, I don't remember the buzzword. It might call Wi-Fi 7. It might call, because they thought maybe they will call him 6G, because the 6 gigahertz. But unfortunately, it's very confused with the mobiles. It might call the Wi-Fi 7. This is a new spectrum, specific now in the US, but also looking in worldwide. Unfortunately, today the 6.7 is only for Wi-Fi access, like a company like Aruba, Juniper, Roku, that are doing Wi-Fi access for big location. For point-to-point, it's very limited range. Big story is going to be the same like CBRS. It's going to be sharing like the CBRS. So every station, every station is going to go up. We have a GPS, of course, and then the location, and then the central system will allocate it in the right or the best frequency. Again, the big problem is that the big company will buy the big chunk. So, but it's going there, going for frequency sharing. It's good and bad, because frequency sharing have full control about interference. Although there was a big problem for if you hear about the airplane, but they solved this, I think, with a lot of money. But bottom line, the new spectrum, it's already available. Customer already build radio antenna, and we also running to build many antenna of this. So keep eyes on this spectrum. I'm sure that it's going to be auctioned very soon. It's already approved by FCC. So again, the main idea is that you increase the number of antenna, you increase the capacity, but really you cannot increase the antenna so much. Okay, it's you have a limited, let's say, space or size or whatever. So what happened that you need to bring a much better antenna technology, or much better design. This is one of the aspects, and the other aspect is once you have a better antenna design, you need a better antenna technology. You need a better antenna that can support this kind of density. So it's always running after capacity, density, quality, and of course performance. So in general, again, this is the short version. The antenna, the smart antenna is better results in capacity coverage, also better result in interference because they know control the antenna parameter, the radio, of course. It consists for some element, few element. It can be 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 64, like now today in the 5G. And the radio know how to control this. So this is the beautiful things. You know how to control the direction of the antenna, dynamically. So of course it's also DSP and so on. But again, it's already obvious. So, it's many customers already build this kind of antenna. 5G, it's already, and every company that you met in the market, they have already this kind of solution. CBRS, again, it's already, I'm sure that it's already well known in the market. The main idea that you have a very major server, it's called SAS, Spectrum Allocation Server. It's based on business unit. It means that everyone that need to assign to this server need to pay monthly fee or whatever. So it's a really business case. Everyone running to develop this. Comscope, Google. I remember that there is about 7 or 8 different companies that have this kind of solution. And you have you need to have a contract with them. The main idea that you pay monthly fee, it's cost money, but the bottom line, you get a very good forecast of which frequency it might be a good in your area. So yeah, it's a work already. I think it's very successful. Again, the big problem that the big money bought most of the big priority and the big chunk. So the WISP running now everywhere to, unfortunately, they're running to fiber in order to compete with the big tier 1 company. TV Whitespace, as I mentioned, it was pushed by Microsoft Airband program. Today, I don't know how, because the problem it's not the technology. The problem it's very sensitive to noise. And still there is a lot of noise of analog TV station going inside TV Whitespace. Main idea that there is the TV spectrum, and between the TV, in order to make separation, there is a white space. Okay, it was white space. So they tried to. They said, okay, let's try using this spectrum, and it's good. It's a good for really very range, very long range, and blah blah blah. Line of sight is good, and blah blah blah. No line of sight. So it was a good technology, really. Very good bandwidth. Very promise. Bottom line, it will go like CBRS, for sure. And there is a program over the years. I don't know when it's going to be, but they're going to clean the spectrum. Okay, once they will clean the spectrum, to be a perfect solution. But unfortunately, no radio vendor. They killed the market. It's going to be like CBRS again. The main idea of control by a SAS database. It will come. It will come. It's very good promise spectrum. So about MTI, we are over 50 years old. We've been only antenna worldwide, many company, many countries, you name it. One of the things that MTI are doing is to do quality, which means performance. We're doing very good antenna performance. We work most of the OEM, work with MTI. So the main idea that they want to get a very good performance in reasonable price. We will see after that the part of the OEM. So in general, MTI divided by 2 main business units. One is the defense. We were very strong in the defense. I don't know if everyone understands the world getting crazy now. Everyone running to have more and more system, more and more capacity of military. Unfortunately, Ukraine and Russia doing well and good for everyone. Even in the US, I'm sure that most of the companies are growing military. So defense market was our one of the and still big chunk of business. Specific in the Israel, but also outside. We do submarine, we do air force, you name it. In the commercial market, which is also what we just now talking, we have the wireless application, which I belong, and we have RFID, which is a different technology for application, different frequency, different really different technology, more focus on application. But if you need RFID solution, we have a very nice portfolio as well. And very also here, we have a lot of OEM. So what we have in the product solution, as I mentioned, we have the TV white space, which going for 47.69 megahertz. Some old frequency, the 9 megahertz, it was one of the highest rated in the US. Once a while, we still get 900. The 2.4 is almost there. 3.5 CRS is called. As I mentioned, still there is a company that buy the federal 5.8, the new frequency 6 to 7, 10.5. You cannot find it in the US, but still in Europe. And the E-band and V-band, 1860 gigahertz. Of course, we have on the other side, we have base station, CP, subscriber, whatever, directional, you name it. Omni, we saw less and less Omni directional antenna, unfortunately. Only in the Wi-Fi access, we saw more Omni. And we have many enclosure for radio, for people that are doing integration. Still, many people buy the enclosure, at least in the US, in Canada, I know about 4 different companies that buy enclosure. It's a box that you can integrate it inside your equipment and the antenna cover it. So it's very nice solution. So again, one of the things that, again, we have a full presentation here. If someone needs more details about this, I can share with him. So in general, when we talk about antenna, of course, there is the frequency, which is kind of calibration of the antenna to the right frequency. Again, also there is a lot of trick you need to be aware. Gain, which is very important. Again, gain, it can be maximum, average, minimum. So we try to give in our spec the minimum, which means that if you want to design your network, at least you can going to have this minimum gain. Of course, we can give average and maximum, but it's not common. Big width, of course, it's a very known, which give you the 50% of minus 3 dB of network. It's good for mostly for sector antenna, base station, but also for CPE. Many customers looking for this as well. Side lobe very critical for interference inside a cell, inside the base station. Side lobe should be a very good side lobe on. You cannot improve this in the field. There is some technology that it's additional, a lot of money additional. It's a lot of money in order to improve the side lobe. Front to back ratio, it's very important when you do reuse frequency, when you have 2 stations, 2 base stations back to back. So the front to back ratio is critical. Cross polarization, we talk about many port, many different of, we talk about density antenna. So cross polarization is going to be very critical because you have more antenna, more polarization, and it's critical to have it. And of course, the environment, it's fully outdoor antenna outside. So you have to have wind load, which is the bracket. You have salt, you have water, you have snow and ice, and so many options. And it's very critical to know that you cannot build the antenna overnight. Sometimes people buy and after 1 year, antenna going to crack and the color is going to change, the radome is going to be not the same. And by the way, when the radome change, all the performance of the antenna change. So you need to do more installation, reinstallation. It costs you money. So for our antenna, just to give you an idea, we give by default warranty of 3 years. A full outdoor unit, 3 years. I don't know if you get for your car or for maybe your car you got, but other companies that give you 3 years warranty, full outdoor. I'm talking about antenna that installed in a very high wind load and snow and everything, you know, very high in the so this is the reason that MTI very you know, believe in our technology. So what's happened? If you have a bad selection of antenna, you can see that the difference. On the left side, you have a very you have 3 stations with not a good performance antenna. You know, I'm talking about side lobe and back to front to ratio, and you can see in the right one, which have much more capacity, much more cover. Again, it's the difference between 2 antennas. That's all. You take one antenna, it give you one coverage. You take another antenna, it can improve the coverage. So I'm not talking about just you know, coverage. What about time consuming that you need to do troubleshooting and customer charm that leave you, and you know, even ROI is much better in a good antenna because you have much more capacity. You can cover much more customer. You can give more capacity. So everything it's much better. Okay. This is done with the same idea with MTI antenna compare with one of the Cambium solution. You can see the difference in the left side was one of the default Cambium. Again, it's still exists this equipment, and compared to MTI antenna, today they moved to you know, Medusa and other beamforming antenna. But the main idea that you can see the difference in capacity and coverage with the same 60-degree antenna. You know, it's funny. You replace the 60-degree 4x4, 6x6, and you get much more capacity. So this is the story. 100% quality and performance. It just give you, sorry, that give you idea, first of all, what's happening in the market and what's happening in the radio vendor and about MTI. So let's start with Mimosa. Mimosa, everyone, was a very promised company, bought by Respan and now bought by another company in India, which is service provider. I'm not sure what will happen with Mimosa. Fluid Mesh was a rail solution application. They bought now by Cisco. Riverbed bought by by Cambium. Proxim was disappeared. Aruba still Aruba. Very good customer. Redline bought by Avayat. So, by the way, Avayat is our customer. Nokia, Ericsson, ZTE, excluding Huawei, everyone it's our customer. Some of them for the E-band, some of them for the for other frequencies. So you can see that the movement, the market is moving because the technology is changing. Because you know, it's more pocket in order to much smarter radio, and it's a tricky market. But 1 year, everything was changing. 2 years, changing. I think I finished. Yeah. Okay. So again, we are very much. We are very. We have a very market in broadband. Okay? If you look at the market for OEM, the radio vendor, we are. We can give you quality, performance. I think I finished. Julie, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Ofer, for that wonderful presentation. Excuse me, I've got a voice issue too. Anyway, again, thank you. And thank you for talking about your 3-year warranty. That was one of the questions, and you already covered that. So we greatly appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit more about the warranty? I know you said it was for 3 years. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, it's very clear. If you have a problem with one of your antenna, you open RMA with MTI. If we found it, let's say, if we find it that it's reasonable, that might be happen, of course, we need to investigate. Most of the time, we used to ship a new antenna. If it's critical, happen, in many antennas, so it might be more investigation. So we will ask the customer to ship the antenna. But it's very simple. You make a picture, you make a report, then we can start open RMA, serial number, and so on. Of course, the antenna must have. One of the things that we see sometimes the customer trying to touch the antenna, change the label or whatever. It's very critical attention. If something, and by the way, it's on our website, the warranty. If someone trying to touch the antenna, change the antenna, fix the antenna, the warranty will.
Thank you, Ofer. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I got a next question here for you. Could you tell us a little bit about what MTI Wireless might be doing in the future, what we might expect from you? I know there may not be new products for a while, but can you tell us a little bit about that?
More frequency, more different frequency. Always there is a new opportunity for 6 to 7 gigahertz, which is growing. Again, we have already a few customer. The E-band is growing, very, very promised. We have some patent writing there. If someone need more information, I can send them in the E-band. Many customers like Nokia, for example, Ericsson are very for this kind of. It's a dynamic allocation of the main waveguide. It's an algorithm that a bit the wing and so event it's one of the markets for new frequency webcom spectrum. So there is an issue that actually understand, but most of the companies today are doing integrated solution antenna, which means that if you don't work with them for day one, we cannot sell other things. So this is the reason we are trying to find the customer day one. Unfortunately, the number of customers it's not big, but we still have a very good in new and existing customers.
Thank you so much, Ofer. If you can put your microphone up a little louder for us, that would be great. And I've got the next question here for you. How many users can MTI support with one device?
Oh, it's not MTI. It's the radio. One of the things that the technology is doing, increasing the number of channels over there, increasing the modulation. So, of course, increasing the modulation is being noise. Radio control how many units it can. So in today they can give quality of service over priority, more challenge to much more complicated. So the technology give you more options. Let's say network marketing customers for them with the new technology.
Thank you, Ofer. Again, I think we're having a little bit of audio issue. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. You cannot hear me?
There we go. There we go. Yes, we can hear you, but you did go down. The volume went low for a little bit, so
Okay.
I think we're okay in there. I've got one more question for you, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay. Is there remote management tools available for MTI Wireless Edge?
Oh, a good question. Most of our antenna, I can say 100% of our antenna, it's a passive antenna. It means you don't have any control, okay? The antenna, it's not a smart antenna, okay, that you have a control. So today, you don't have any SNMP port or something to the antenna, but with the new E-band, yes, we are going to have a control port because it's very important to get feedback about the link redundancy, the link situation. So yeah, so in the future, maybe the E-band will include, let's say, external ports for backdoor or for SNMP, for control. Today, none of us are doing this. There is no, you cannot control the antenna. It's a passive. It's just PCB with metal and blah blah blah, and that's all. No software inside the antenna. For us, for MTI, by the way, for MTI, there is antenna that are smart, which might have a software. For MTI, today we don't have.
I understand. Thank you, Ofer, for answering all of those questions for us today. And also thank you to everyone for attending this webinar. And if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact our sales rep, or you can email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please remember that this presentation has been recorded and you can view it again as we upload it to our Microcom YouTube channel. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic day. Thank you, Ofer, so much for joining us again. And hopefully we will join again in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope next time it will be much more better. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Bye-bye.